Hey guys, GameingSandwich here. So that's very nice. That'll keep me going. So this is my really bad setup that I'm doing this for. So this is the first week of or first month of the sealed only, which is some challenge deck videos. So these are the games that I played. This narration is going to be done completely off script, so I'm going to do this as the play-by-plays as I can't even remember them. So I kind of tried to do this with a little bit more kind of honesty. So I can't remember if I go first or second in this one, so we're going to go for it as we do. I just open just very, very bad. So obviously I'm just going to go 2 sets and pass. I just hope something doesn't come. If he plays 1 day apiece, plays mine, I'm just like, oh, this is going to go bad. So I don't know what I'm playing. I think it's either Burn or it's Mystic. I think it's either going to be Burn or Exodio. Those are my two first kind of feelings as we go forward. E-Summons, Emissary of the Afterlife. I have, for some reason later on this one really pees me off because I don't get a good. What is it? I don't get a good. It doesn't allow me to do what I need it to, so I'm gonna get kind of annoyed with that. So this game I kind of screw up on because I'm like, I kind of forget that. Stupid things, come on. So I kind of forget that I could have literally like done power ups, which kind of suck. So, but we'll see. I don't know why I went into my link to there. I just think it was just something I could do at that point in time. I think later on, looking back, I was kind of a bit too excited to kind of like make it. So that was a bit sad on my part. I could have just left everything on the board and it would have been fine. But then again, that's just me. So I'm also eating as well with this. So having my ramen cup. So I do apologize. So this was really, really bad because at this point I don't have any more links, so I can't. Well, any more useful links at this point, so I can't actually do anything. Yeah, just warning that out. I just know it's going to be bad, so. So obliterate's really bad for me, just because he can just literally just beat me down, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in a really bad point. Legacy of the Duelists is a card I'm very familiar with, so it's not like it's going to cause me problems. Just have to like kind of like brace myself to kind of help that I can kind of make it through at this point. So at this point he's got 4k attack. I'm just going to take it to the face. He can't do anything because of Mystic Mind, which is really, really helpful. I get my familiar, I get my draw. Mine's just gonna, he removes the mine, which is kind of nothing I can't do anything about, which is kind of sad, but that's just the way the breaks go. Yeah, Exodia now's up to 5k. I'm just like, oh, I can't do anything. So I'm just hoping at this point. So I do that. Get my familiar possessed. Get my draw. I know he's got nothing, so I just literally, as my masters, grab my extra stuff. Hopefully, I'm just like, I hope I can power this up. For some reason, it's like one of those. I'm with obliterate. I keep forgetting the rulings with it. So, but this one, it was really good. The guy's like, I don't believe you've got like some really, really OP stuff. So this one, I think he doesn't read witch. The fact that at least I didn't know why he didn't attack me then with obliterate. So I don't know. Oh no, it's because of mine again. Seriously, I'm terrible at this game. So yeah, let's have a go. And then get my other charmer out. Let's finally get out the mine. I get all my monsters up to 5k, which is really, really fun. He activates. Wait, yeah, it does about 4,000 to the face. It's fine. Got the power up. It was good. So that is with that one. So that was the first one, and I'm gonna have to keep going through replays, which is gonna be a pain in the backside. So I will probably pause these after this version to stop me from like really, really screwing up with this to make it at least a lot more fluid. So I will pause that. Right, guys, we are back with game 2. Oh god, this is just as nearly as past the first game, sorry. It is shenanigans. I'm a bit uncertain what his set card is. I just feel like playing Vader's fine. Let's see if I can bait anything out. Don't know what he does. I just like, no, I'm just going to Twin Twister, get rid of it. Play Spellbook, get that, discard. He must have been absolutely miserable as hell for what I did. The reason I put the Charmers down is because I know he's going to, so the Unpossessed is because I know he's going to attack into it, so that's the only thing that really sucked is just the fact like I was like, oh great, I'm hoping he hasn't got so many pieces in hand at this point. Obviously when you're playing this back you can see their hand, but so oh, I'm possessed with a Charmer, so dirty. A good combo is actually to allow something to be destroyed and summon a Charmer in defense, and then it can't be destroyed by card effects. Sorry, it can't be destroyed by battle, so you kind of float into it and then it just literally protects you, which is really, really good. Luna doesn't really come as clutch in this kind of game because you don't really bounce anything too much. So he's going to come in, he's going to set a card, I think it's Witch. What was Witch? Jeez, I've got to pay attention. Yeah, so Witch, and then I just want to kind of like draw into certain things because I just feel like trying to go for an OTK at this point is really, really what I need. So, yeah. I just get board presents, and then that's just the way it goes. Right, this game we're playing Drytron. So, this was a really fun game. This was meant to be a like an actual match, and the guy was so angry, I think, half at the end of it, that he just didn't really want me to do anything. So, he just kind of quit, which really was a shame because I was like really hoping to see what this deck could do a bit more. Spice Hustle, I think it's just basically kind of bricked a bit more in the one way that he shouldn't have. So, obviously, all the shenanigans, drops the Cyber Angel, gets the other one, draws a card. This is one thing I think I've really noticed through. There are many different techs for this deck, and so sorry, hit the camera. That's always good for me. That I have really noticed that Drytron can really just play through if you have the right build. I have seen the Herald build. The Herald build is really, really horrible to play against. Okay, so we draw some cards. Just need to just fin the deck. Heater comes out, gets a draw. Just beat over. Score some nice, decent damage. The good thing about this is because with none of the Charmers really activating their effects, Herald is pretty much dead in hand, so at least that's good. It's kind of the one good thing is at least I don't draw Luna. So Luna just would cause him to at least do something, so he just kind of did that, and I was like wondering why he kind of quit, but then it's like my back, all I was going to do literally just do is just like I've got warning that deals with most of his stuff. He can't do anything because he just realized he's got a 3000 defense monster that literally I'm just going to beat over it. That's he knows he's lost. So next game is the fact we're playing Fire Kings, or what is it? Oh bloody hell, Fire Kings and 5S. So there's a mishmash there. This is actually game 2. We did go to game 1. I think he bricked game 1 and just passed it over to me. So this is the game 2, which is the better one of the two. So you kind of look at this hand and realise what the hell am I doing sometimes. Until it comes out. So, if anyone wants to know why, there's a reason I didn't get rid of the other one, because effect's gonna go off anyway. So, Avatar comes out, Grinix. Now here's the thing is, because I organised no chain links right, Google Byte's gonna summon itself, then it's like I basically replace, so it's just fine. Get my unpossessed, summon out, tribute, draw 2 cards, draw more cards. It's one of those you're really trying your best with this deck. Sometimes you just want to draw into combos and you're just really hoping. So that's really good because unpossessed, it's like I get to grab a familiar card from my deck and then I get special summon. It's just really, really broken. Well, not broken really, I'll say, but it's more the fact it adds a lot of consistency in a flow. But the thing is with Charm is you really need a setup of multiple cards to kind of really do something. So as we're playing, it's more the kind of we're trying to see what we can kind of do to help that. Or so for anyone else, I have more plans for like week 2. Week 2 has I've been testing it, so it's the deck has a bit more consistency. So I won't show you anything of my test one. This is where I kind of swapped out my main field as well for the Secret Village, just so it prevents him from doing anything. So which he didn't like, because then I just got that back. There we go. Summon that, bounce, attack, and game. So yeah. Now this game, this is going to be a full match replay, and this game we're playing against zombies. So this is not one of the matches I was really hoping for. So he goes first, he activates Uni-Zombie. I'm glad I have the Veiler as the out, which is really, really useful at this point. So that's going to end his turn. I've got Regeki. So I'm just figuring, like, just summon Nefariousness. It's not my favourite, but it allows me then for a dragon on the next turn. So Uni-Zombie comes out. I'm just like, okay, this is not really gonna go. So I'm like, he's gonna go off because I've got no interruptions. Zombie World's gonna come out. I'm just like, shh, there's nothing. Baladrock's gonna just summon itself and stand by. Luckily, I literally top deck the MST. Well, sorry, the Twin Twisters, which just God saves me. Then I have the Regeki, and then I'm just like, right, okay, just attack, just attack. That's what I can do. That's all I can do. So I look at his hand, and I'm just like, okay, I don't know obviously what's in his hand, so I'm just like, Gozuki, and I'm just like, oh, here comes the field spell again. So I'm like, I've got to just deal with this. But I'm like, he has been hit down 5 point damage, so I'm happy with that. Bloom comes out. Gonna get another Baladrock. Gozuki for Mizuki into Uni-Zombie. I don't understand why I didn't do anything with Uni-Zombie. The only reason Baladrock can't actually hit the is because drawing actually it's damage stuff, and actually Baladrock does miss timing with damage. Lucky me. So this is where hopefully I can do something. So I do that, grab my possessed, grab my familiar, battle phase. It's all I can literally do, and that's me just ending my turn. So that's my first game, which I'll. So going into game 2, I don't know if his deck had more vampires at this point, or was he started them in or out. I don't know, but I brick not hard, but it's not the best. So it was like an Ash could easily like screwed me. But two awakening to grab the third awakening is just absolutely brutal. It means I've nearly got a 3k beater, and it's one monster. So he just summons familiar, goes into Link Revo. Familiar activates. It's going to pay that life. I don't mind. I figure that I just like the idea of him paying life points at this point. So I've kind of got a little bit of like nothing at the moment. So I'm just hoping that he can kind of. So just warning that off. I figure it's the best way. I don't know he has a vampire counter down, so that kind of really fucks me over. So I've lost 2,000 life points. So I actually got to familiar possessed. So basically our attack points are both 0, so it's fine because I gained the damage calc. Brood 500 again, so I'm like, yeah, okay, let's slowly catch up. Then Banshee comes out, Zombie World hits the field, so now I've got no spellcasters anymore, which again is really, really sucky. It turns off quite a few of my effects, so it kind of sucks. I don't know why he paid 3,000 then. It was, which kind of sucks because he gained the life points. But for me, it's a bit bad, but it's like I've got plays, so I was kind of happy in one way. So get the gigabyte. I just figured like at this point, if I attack mine in defense, he's got to pay more than than the damage I'm going to take. So at this point, I just want to get it so I can actually activate my trap, just so I can clear the board a bit more. I honestly, oh yeah, because he was going to use throw line to kind of. So he gains the attack. Possess happens. So he plays that. He forgets about my boost of attack. So this is where we kind of end up on like 200 each. So that happens. I'm going to get my Juggernaut back. And he's kind of a bit, okay. He gets area back. So he gets the whole field. And I'm just like, okay, he just links into Borrelsword, and I was like, I have no idea why he links into Borrelsword, because I can attack over it. It just makes no sense to me. So it does that, turns it to defense. Then I just attack that and win. So it really was a bit of a bad misplay on his part. So guys, the all-important game 3. This time, we both open up a lot better for each other. So we play Zombie World, goes Kazuki, Zuki into Baladrop. Good combos. I can't do anything about it. So I'm just like, okay, I'll summon Awakening, press win, and attack into Baladrop. He super polys. I'm just like, okay, this is very, very bad. Baladrop comes out, gets Grace. I'm just like, this, I'm gonna get steamrolled. Oh man, this was so bad. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I can activate the Awakening, and that's all I can do. Because literally, I can't activate any of my effects, so Zombie World just basically locks me out. So it's a very, very sad replay that I have the third game, because literally he just opens up with Super Poly, and Super Poly just wrecks my day. So again, it was learning that certain things, like Zombie World is a very, very bad matchup for me, generally. So sadly enough, I didn't see any of my outs, which is really, really bad. But at the end of the day, I have to kind of work around and know my deck strengths and weaknesses. So it does help me for the future. And for the last one, we're going against Pendulum. More appreciably, it is a Draco Pal. So we'll go through this. He plays Rabbit. I can't do anything. This one's Vector. 2 of them. It goes into Spheres. I did not see that coming, so I was like, Baylor, I could have done with you earlier. So I'm just like, right, this Red Gecko, get Luna. I'll be Giga. Just going for some beefy attack. Set the warning. So I was like, I've got Luna. I've got 2 follow-ups in hand. I've got the Jigger. I've got one thing. Yeah, I was really happy with that. So he's gonna bat. I'm just gonna bounce. Even if he doesn't do anything, I was like, okay, well. But to be fair, I didn't expect him to have a 1950 beat stick. So I was like, okay, I'll get my thing, get my field spell, activate it, shuffle it in, get that. So he judgments me, and judgment just absolutely wrecks my face. So Performer Pals come out, he just does Pendulum Summon. A warning. So this match is very, very back and forth. He strikes. I'm just like, oh god, this is so bad. It was like the counter traps are just everywhere in this game. So I kind of think to myself, I've got the 5,000, and I kind of like, I should have really summoned Heater at this point, because I feel that was the better play to do. But you know, the effect value comes in clutch, just taking out the Pendulum Sorcerer. So I was like, I just the bulk up of the Pendulum Scale just really just ended me. But even if I did anything, I doubt I could have top decked anything. So we'll go for the next. So let's go for game 2. So we decided to go first. side and all that stuff. I don't feel we end on a bad board. It's not the best, it's not the worst. So he activates Luster, guarding Ariadne, got Alliance, thins the deck more, gets Vector, goes into Link Spider, gets another Vector, goes into Cloth Sheep. I was like, I don't really know what to kind of expect from this. So I was like, I knew he was going to grab some kind of counteract with guarding Ariadne. So I do that, I flip the warning, which, but then again, it does net him 2 counteracts, but at least I actually know what they are. So if anyone knows, that's why I activate Maniferous, so just so I can bring out my Fire Wand during the next turn. So that does kind of help. It's a nice little combo to know. So literally, I just leave him with 800. He's got 2 solemn cards. I'm just like, okay, so gets Vector, gets Master, goes into Babushka. So I'm kind of like, I'm playing kind of on the defense. So I've got my D barrier down. D barrier is just gonna. So he descends. I just like, right, okay, set another D barrier because I think I was like, right, he's just holding on to his hands. He can pendulum. Call synchro. That was so useful. Actually, that I get myself my awakening. So I was like, okay, we'll get him possessed. Go for the Jigger. I was like, at least Jigger actually activates, which most people don't actually remember. That it just says when it's destroyed and sent. So then I just tap Babushka for the win, which is really, really good. So, game of the point, game. So we're going to the all-important game 3. Last game of the actual this month session. So very sad for me. This will be. So I don't think we've done too bad for our first week. I feel like we've had some good games, we've had some bad games. So, promotional plug. So, we'll go with this, and so, yeah, Odd Eyes, Revolution, going 500, grabbing Scale, Rabbit. I have no response. I'm just like, okay, I think we're going to be hitting a Spheres again, which he does. Luster into Pendulum Sorcerer. Now, there's a really good misplay here, which was I forgot in my infinite wisdom that Performer Power Pendulum Sorcerer is a spellcaster. And I was like, I sided in Secret Village, so I kind of had to hope that he didn't have that in his hand, and he did. And then actually I forgot the Performer Power Magician was also a was also a spellcaster, so I kind of like really shouldn't have sided in Secret Village. So that was my bad. But Appaloosa was just not something I really needed to see at this point in time. Pardon me. And so I was like, we'll do that, that's fine. Get some plays done. So Appaloosa is going to activate. I have to change Appaloosa's effect again, then I just hit the scales, which is the smartest play you can do. Literally, that is like all she wrote. There is only literally so much I can do. So, Revolution again. I was like thinking to myself, if I can I kind of really, there wasn't really anything I could do. Like, at this point, I'm like looking back on it going, okay, I kind of did the right play. But then as soon as I see, which I didn't really get, because like if it was me, I probably would have synchroed into Ignista. So he does that, activates Tornado. Tornado is going to pop. Which doesn't really matter at this point. Perform our Magician, it's going to do something. Yeah. So I looked myself, I go, I've got a Village. Village is good. Activate that. Grab myself my Awakening back. I was trying to hopefully like bait out the so I really was hoping Tornado would have grabbed the Secret Village, but you know, what can you do at that point? It literally was the case of like, I can't do anything. So I believe this was the best line of play. I don't feel like there was anything really I could have done differently looking back on it. It is unfortunately the disadvantage of having the deck in the way in the current form it is. So here you go. So I jokingly try to activate Luna's effect. There's nothing I can do. So with that, so I kind of think to myself, just please don't do what you reckon you're gonna do. It shuffles it back. That's it. That's the game. As soon as you shuffle that back, there's literally just not much way of recovery. Got that, and then I'm in top decking mode, and then he goes into Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller just feels like it kind of like just sealed the deal. Really, to be fair. Then I just got literally my Searcher, and that's it. That's all she wrote. So guys, this was the actual deck we used. Do I have any regrets of how I styled the deck? No. The deck is optimized for my style of play. I think of maybe Book of Eclipse could have come more in handy. Some of these were more generic sides, so if I was playing an actual locals, so if you're playing locals you go into time. So cards like Awakening, Possess, the Great Inuit Fire, basically just does burn damage. So that's for game again with Spiritual Kirin. Was it Kirinai? Kirinai, yes, Kirinai. 3/1/5 monster inflict damage to penny equal to its attack. Something that just could do damage. I just wanted stuff like that, and that would be things I would actually side in for real locals. So what works, what doesn't work? In honesty, I would honestly say things like Spellbook of Knowledge. Spellbook of Knowledge is a really, really good card, but in a deck where you do not have a lot of monsters and you are forced, and the deck is extremely normal summon reliant, it's not a great card. So I believe it possibly will be cut. So that's just a personal thing. Unpossessed, again, it's a great card. It comes in clutch when you want it to, but it's not as... It has certain problems. It is searchable, so it's a great card. The thing is, though, Possessed Partnership is kind of better because you can reset your fields. So you can reset Unpossessed, you can reset Awakening. So again, it's a better card. Awakening, a lot of people feel it's a kind of, you should run it less. If you have the room for it, I would suggest running it, because when you normal summon, it's instantly a 1/1, so it's traded itself off. If you've managed to resolve it twice, that you've gone plus with it. So Awakening, I feel, is a really good mainstay for the deck. In regards to Grand Spiritual Art, now I still don't believe a lot of people actually work this in the way they're meant to. So obviously it just says, while you control a spellcaster with 1500 defense, which there is quite a lot of them in this deck, you negate the first monster effect, which is why I kind of like this card, because you play this, you normal summon any of your familiar possessed, and then you activate your Rota. So pretty much they ash and it automatically gets negated, which is just really, really good, solid. Considering we don't have like any kind of like interruption or counters against hand traps, it's just really, really good, solid card, to be fair. So again, that's why I have that. I opted for 2 because I thought 2, 1 and a terraforming. If I draw the terraforming, I draw it. It's a fin of my deck by 1. It just makes sense to me personally. So that's fine. Dot Ruler no more again at 1. So 2-sided. I don't feel you need more than that. Not for a starter. So Rigeki's worked fine. I don't see an issue with Rigeki. Veiler's just so clutch at this point. Again, with warnings, the warnings are really clutch. And the problem is I don't like having... I feel like freeze too many because I'm paying too much life. That's my only issue at this point. It really is. I feel like I'm just paying too much. So I may find something that's a bit more... Maybe like if in an ideal world I could probably switch. I'd probably have like 2 strike, 1 warning. I don't know. It's a ratio to mess around with. Twin Sisters again is good. If I had either Harpy's Feather Duster or Lightning Storm, obviously those will be running instead. I do like the discard outlet sometimes, but again, it's for hand advantage. So because this deck does not really have apart from your trap, it doesn't have any synergy with the graveyard. So that's kind of how it is. The side deck, I couldn't really complain. Dean Barrier is really good. Extra Twin Twister is really good. Dark Ruler is really good. This little guy here, which is the Awakening of the Possessed Ryu, basically it's the level 5 dragon. We pulled it from what is it? From Phantom Rage, and can't complain at it. Nice card. You can return one card your opponent controls to the hand. So from what I believe from playtesting it and actually reading it, it does not target. It just says return one card. So again, I like the fact it's non-targeting removal, so that's fine. And then obviously when sent to the graveyard, you get a spiritual art card from your deck to your hand, which again, or possessed. So which is just good. So I believe that offers opportunity later on for me to kind of do things with linking off. But we'll see how we go. As we get into the later things, I'm actually just going that Ariu is a really nice hand trap, but again, with the fact we're only running like 7 spellcasters, that you want to summon. Like you can run it with effect. You can like just normal summon Effect Veiler, but you just feel like why are you doing this? This could go so wrong. So if normal summoning Effect Veiler really is a double-edged sword. It's a play. So you can kind of go summon Effect Veiler, you activate Spellbook and Knowledge, they ash, you kind of go, okay, carry on turn. They go to Uriu, and it's kind of like, at least you can do something, but you still feel it's a bit like, okay. It's not the best card. For the extra deck, we did pull the Ominous Omen. It's good, but we can't summon it. So I may, for the next month, I may be able to sort it out so we can summon it. I have an idea, so that should be nice. If I can do that, at least then it's like I can have a 3,000 beat stick, which is something really good. So generator transfer is not the best because we can't utilize it in the way I want to, but again, it's a form of creature swap, which is something that if we can't deal with something one way, it deals with it in another. So from what I remember, certain cards do work on it. I've got to work on the fact as if I can actually swap it with Dragoon, because I don't believe it's a targeting effect, even though it just happens to be it's in the zone. So zone marking isn't targeting because the effect doesn't target. It just happens to be the creatures, and it's weird. I've got to try and see how that works, but I hope so. But I'm happy with the deck. I just want to say, like, how are you guys finding the series? Would you prefer me, like, next time I'm going to try and break it into a much more solid block of a video. I don't want to do this transfer over free. It doesn't feel nice to me. Again, I have to apologize that friends of mine who were going to do this haven't. There's nothing I can do. It's just a really just sad state of affairs that due to COVID-19 that people have had to pull out of this. And at the end of the day, I was told by friends of mine who've been interested in the series and been talking to me that I really should stop and pull out and wait and kind of reassess everything and come back to it later on. But I feel that's sad because I've had so many good ideas, and I'd already kind of started doing like the videos and recording these kind of duels, and I've been having so much fun. And some of the people I've been chatting to on here are really nice about it, and it's just been great fun. Like chatting to people, like they've even said like, "Oh man, you've actually managed to do okay. Wow, we didn't really think Chalmers could do that well, even without like an extra deck or really anything good." So I will post some links to in the description of this one to another guy. He's doing much better than me in terms of channel wise. He's doing a Charmer profile. He's doing a Charmer deck similar to mine. So I think he's doing his weekly, obviously minus monthly due to family issues and constraints of lockdown. So, but give him a shout out. He's a lovely guy. Great content, great videos. But hopefully you guys like this. Please leave some constructive criticism in the end, and hopefully you will check out my next video. Thank you very much.